that time of the week where we huddle up with one Kyle Brandt from Good Morning Football. And Kyle, if there's an image that could properly illustrate my hopeful call that Josh Allen would truck Josh Allen in last week's game, it would probably be Charlie Brown trying to kick a football with Lucy Van Pelt holding. I don't know if I could have whiffed any more. And the other Josh Allen pulled off the trifecta: a sack, a fumble recovery, and an interception. Ugh, double ugh, triple ugh.
Is there anything any of us are more sick of talking about than that there's two players named Josh Allen on the same team or in the same league? I am so over that. I am so disgusted by that at this point. Congratulations to Jacksonville. You won it. I would rather talk for 3 hours about Odell Beckham Jr. than talk about two players named Josh Allen, especially since it was like a first-round knockout between the two of them. Brownie, I don't know if you bear responsibility for that, but like you put out some really weird energy, basically calling your shot that we were going to devote an entire segment, if not an entire week, to all the crazy things that Josh Allen on your team was going to do to Josh Allen on the other team. And it was like some sort of sacred burial ground you trampled upon. This was a disaster.
Yeah, we absolutely put the hex on everything Buffalo Bills last week. But be that as it may, the entire conference kind of went through that. This all the underdogs win. You've got backup quarterbacks playing well. You've got a team like the Cowboys getting embarrassed.
Yeah.
Four division leaders lost to sub-500 teams.
It's an amazing. Now there are 11 teams in the AFC with 5 wins. It's a horse race.
It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. It's at that point now. What are we, week 10 we're going into, I think?
Yeah.
And it's like the NFC's got some cream of the crop teams. Fine. I don't know who to pick in the AFC. And this is what I'm going to. When all is lost and everything is in disarray, I go to the teams that have a veteran-proven head coach and a defense. So here's my rundown, guys. If I got to throw in with a team right now that I think is going to make some noise over the next couple of months, by virtue of the defense and veteran-proven head coach thing, I am throwing out Cleveland. I'm throwing out Cincinnati. I'm throwing out the Raiders. I'm throwing out the Chargers. That leaves us with the Titans. They look great. Baltimore with Harbaugh. New England, hello. What the hell is going on with Belichick and their defense? Definitely Pittsburgh, who hasn't lost in 5 weeks. And I think Buffalo. I think Buffalo.
Right.
Should they be in that group? Because I think I trust Coach McDermott. I love him. I love a lot of players in this defense. But, like, how am I supposed to possibly say, yeah, I'm going to triple down on the Bills, who just lost 9-6 to Jacksonville and gave up 300 yards rushing and per carry for Derrick Henry. It's rough, guys.
Yeah,
and we haven't had a conversation like this. In our relationship of 3 years, we have never had a, oh, my God, what are we going to do conversation.
Yeah,
right.
Kyle, one conversation that we did have already this season on the heels of the Tennessee loss, and you brought it up, and I think it's legitimate, and I think there's enough evidence to support it now. When they face physical teams at the line of scrimmage, they have a problem. Week 1, Pittsburgh. Week 6, Tennessee. And Jacksonville decided to play physical this week. I've never seen them play that way any other week this season. They sleepwalked through week 8. I don't know what the hell team showed up in week 9. It shocked everybody. But when they play a physical front, they have problems on both sides of the ball. And that's why I think when you pointed out just a couple of weeks ago that Indy game on the horizon, that could be a problem for Buffalo's defense.
Listen, nothing's guaranteed at this point. I can't guarantee they're going to beat the Jets next week. The Jets have a couple quality wins on their roster. Do the Bills?
Right.
I don't think so. The Bills beat the Chiefs, who aren't good. They beat the Dolphins a couple of times. Like, they don't have a real quality win either. So I don't want to be wildly negative, but as we get away from the Jacksonville thing, what's the smoking gun? Like, in other words, what the hell happened? If you want to say Josh was a little nuts and made some bad plays, sure. If you want, to me, the culprit and the boogeyman of this whole time, this whole Josh Allen, Sean McDermott era, and we've talked about this for years, I don't know if they have a running game. I just don't know. And I'm starting to think that they don't, because in a 9-6 ball game, they ran the ball 9 times with running backs. 9. That's it. In a game, you're like, for goodness sake, run. And Moss leaves the game, fine. There's nothing else there. 9 carries in a 9-6 game is almost unheard of, especially for a team that's that close. It leaves me with a lot of worries that what you're talking about, Brownie. So, all right, they get to the playoffs, great. They get Baltimore in the first round, or they get one of these teams that just, I don't know, is not impressed and doesn't give a damn and looks to play football. We've always been a little concerned that might be an issue, but you sweep it under the rug because Allen is so good and the defense is so good. Now last week, it's the boogeyman.
Yeah, one of the things that hit him last week, and it became obvious, particularly in a team like Jacksonville that has not shown that form of pressure, being able to get pressure on the quarterback. Bills had two starting offensive linemen out. They shuffled, which made them shuffle 3 guys. It's the 3rd different offensive line combination they've had in the last 3, maybe 4 weeks, and they just didn't look competitive up front. Maybe that led to the fact they didn't want to run the football because when they did run it, they got stuffed. And they couldn't handle the rush of the Jaguars on Sunday. And Josh was trying to do too much, and a couple of the decisions he made were obvious, I'm going to do this myself decisions. And that really is the weakness of the Bills. My question is this. Can any team can't any team on their schedule left do the exact same thing to them?
Yeah.
If Jacksonville can do it.
Imagine that.
Yeah, if Jacksonville can do it, can anybody?
Yeah. If you watch that game, and again, let's put the Colts aside, put all the big dogs aside. If you're the Jets, I know what we're doing. Like, we're going right at them. None of this pretty stuff. I don't care who our quarterback is. We're going to run the hell out of it. We're going to make them run the ball. Like, I don't like using the term blueprint because I think it's just a cliche. But certainly there's blood in the water. And it's not just the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's other teams. It's the Titans for sure. And look, there's this panic button thing going on. I've seen some people, media members on social media saying Josh Allen regression, Josh Allen not having the same. I'm not on that boat. Like, I don't think you just show up every year and you're absolutely incredible statistically and stylistically at quarterback. He's a great player who's going to have some amazing years and some good years. I don't think there's a real problem with him. I just think that was a full confluence of everything that's wrong with this team. Can't not being able to run the ball. And then again, like, Steve, you just used the soundbite we haven't used in a long time about Josh Allen, and that's trying to do too much. Like, that's old second year Josh Allen. That's rookie Josh Allen. We've not seen that interception where I'm just going to run through 12 guys and throw it to anybody I want. Like, and I get it. There's nothing else that was working as he was trying to put the team on his back. But damn, it's. I'm watching these clips now again on the show. It's stressing me out all over again. I can't believe they lost this game. They were in the red zone one time, and it was on their first possession. The offense was terrible.
Yeah, it was not good. To calm everybody that wants to even suggest regression for Josh Allen, his numbers through 8 games this year are virtually identical to that of last year. So take that for what it's worth. But your point about the run game is well taken, and I think the issue here is more up front. The thing was, last year their run game wasn't that great either, Kyle, and they just said, well, the hell with it. We're just going to throw the ball. I don't know if they can go back to that either. It's going to be very interesting to see what page Brian Daboll turns to, knowing that the run game is at a point where I don't know if it's fixable to become a potent part of their offense going forward.
Well, I'm hearing what Steve is saying about shuffling linemen. And look, due respect to Moss and Motor, and I like those guys. Maybe they're not the guy long term. I don't know. But I know this. I see Baltimore out there, and they've got the 2015 All-Stars at running back, and they seem to be doing their thing. They got Devontae Freeman running for touchdowns, Le'Veon Bell running for touchdowns. And I get it. Baltimore may be a different beast, but like, I can't abide by in a 2021 for the Buffalo Bills. Well, we got some guys banged up, and like, there's no excuses now. Everybody's dealing with that stuff. This is your year, your division. And now I got to go to Good Morning Football and have Schrager bring questions to the table about, are you in or out right now on the New England Patriots winning the AFC East? And we're not the only show that's asking it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we've already had calls about it as well. And Keyshawn Johnson saying it as well. I mean, and let's face it, we have seen it happen so many times where the Patriots get better. And by the end of the season, they're ready for a championship run. We've seen it, 6 times. So it's still in the back of, it still hangs around the back of Bills fans' minds that they got to deal with those guys twice in the second half of the season, and they get their panties in a knot because they got to go into New England and play those guys. And with all that, Brady or not, Mac Jones, he's the guy. I mean, they're gonna roll with him. Bills fans expect to see Mac Jones for 20 years. I mean, that's just the way it works up there. So yeah, that in or out on the Patriots, I know this. That's a game we are not gonna take lightly on this show.
Well, as you say it though, Steve, like I'm getting indignant and pissed off about it. Like you can't just say, well, they got their guy. You know, the Bills fans are just buckle up because it's going to be 20 years of Mac Jones. No. This is a rookie quarterback that they should absolutely destroy when they play him. They should. I mean, I know that they just lost to Trevor Lawrence, which blew my mind in one way or another, but I can't just stand here and say, you know, everybody's having a lot of fun about here come the Patriots and the evil empire is back and cue the Star Wars Imperial March. Like, that's nonsense. The Bills are the team. They took care of them. They have better players. They have a better roster. If they blow it to these guys and a bleeping rookie quarterback, then I don't even know where we're at right now. I don't think that they will. I'm going to put my foot in the ground. I don't think it's going to happen. I still believe in them.
I'm not panicking either. One interesting development, though, Kyle, on the AFC landscape, aside from the Chiefs, who are always going to dominate the headlines with their struggles, Baltimore is winning, but they're having to do it in comeback fashion because their defense can't hold people off the scoreboard. To me, that's a gigantic story. The Baltimore defense, which has been rock solid for decades, suddenly can't stop people from scoring, and Lamar Jackson has to come out there and pull off a three-ring circus to win football games. What's going on there?
I know, it's wild because I think Baltimore is a team that comes up a lot. If you're just to chat up one of your friends and say, all right, AFC is pretty nuts right now. Who do you think is the best team? A few people I've talked to they're like, oh, well, the Ravens. The Ravens got destroyed by Cincinnati. I mean, they looked like they did not want to be on the field at the end of that game. And that was not way back in week 2, just a few weeks ago. And I think that's why the AFC is incredible right now. Throw in with somebody. This team is going to win the AFC. Let's take Buffalo out of it for the sake of this. They're going to win the AFC. Here's how weird it is. The team that is playing the best and is the hottest and has the best resume is the Titans without Derrick Henry. Like, that's the best team who just beat the Rams on Sunday Night Football. That's the mind-blowing thing. A team starting Adrian Peterson at running back, I think seems like the front runner right now. So anywhere you go, any team you want to bring up, Ravens, Brownie, Bills, of course, Chiefs, all around the AFC, there's always a huge slight. There's always but they can't do this. They can't do this. I don't see that in the NFC. The NFC is Tampa's going to be there. Green Bay is going to be there. A few other teams. The Rams and the Cardinals look really good. The AFC, I don't know. And every team that you can come up with as a contender, I can say, but how about this? Ugh. Yeah.
Even the Titans, the win over the Rams was nice. They did it with 194 yards of total offense. Like, is that a winning formula every week? I don't know.
No, Matthew Stafford came out and said, look, I spotted them 14 points. That's on me. Right. I can't do that. It was a really weird game. You're right. They didn't light it up. They didn't run. They didn't pass. But I don't know. They play D again. Yeah. If it pertains to the Bills, do you want to play you could pick, let's just say, heaven forbid, the Bills have to play a wild card game, which at this point is starting to look pretty likely. Pick your opponent. Who do you think is the easiest team? I don't know. Or you want to pick the Raiders? I don't know if they'll be there. Cincinnati? I would be fascinated to hear who Bills plays. Like, bring those on, who Bills fans say. Because it ain't the Titans. We know that. I don't care if Derrick Henry's not out there. I don't want to play that team.
Yeah, I agree with you. And if you look down the list, we've talked about this for a couple of days. 11 teams in the conference have 5 wins, and only 2 teams have more. The Tennessee Titans and the Baltimore has 6. Everybody else got 5. Then it goes, and I'll tell you what, Indianapolis is going to win some games.
I know.
You talk about a week-to-week league. It has been an absolute roller coaster. You realize 2 weeks ago, the Cincinnati Bengals were the 1 seed. Now they're the 10 seed. They're the 10 seed. They were the 1 seed 2 weeks ago. Now they're 10th.
Yeah, and by the way, like, we're going to be having a conversation, Steve. We're going to be saying a month from now we're going to be talking. You're going to be like, the Tennessee Titans were the 1 seed a month ago. Like, it's going to happen again. We're going to have this exact conversation like right around Christmas time, or even Thanksgiving at this rate.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so Kyle, let's talk about some other stuff. Let's spin the wheel and tell me where OBJ is going to end up, especially in the wake of Pete Carroll's super cryptic comments. Well, I'm not saying it will happen, not saying it won't happen. You'll have to wait and see. What the hell was that?
I don't know. I do respect, Brownie, to yourself, the show, to Steve, the question, the topic. I am really struggling to care about Odell Beckham. That's just my cards on the table answer. I don't care. And let me tell you why. All right. This person's landscape in the media, on your show, on our show, is based almost entirely on accomplishments from 3, 4, 5 years ago. He is very famous, but his fame is 20 times his game. I would defy you right now to make a list of the best active, healthy receivers in the NFL. Where is he? Is he in the top 20? Is he in the top 40? And I would make another list. Guys you want on your team right now. Is he in the top 60? There's a lot of good players out there. And I know Odell is very famous. And he had made a really cool catch and had really cool hair and did all that stuff. I just don't even care, really. I don't think he's a difference-making player. It feels like a pop star who hasn't had a hit in years. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, guys, and I love you, and I love the show. I just I can't even get there. I mean, I don't know. The Chiefs, maybe. What do you think?
I think more interesting is the question of, does he clear waivers and become a free agent?
Yeah.
Is there a team out there that will say, 7.25, get him? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think it says a lot. It may be a slap in the face to him if nobody puts a claim in on him, which I don't know if you do. I don't know. First of all, cap space. Second of all, it's not top-end money.
Diva with a capital D.
It's not top-end money for a wide receiver, but that's a chunk, right? For all of us.
Yeah. I can't imagine sitting there just waiting and the 19th team decides to claim you. I personally, just for the hell of it, I wanted Detroit to claim him. Screw it. We're 32. Right. We have no wide receivers, no buzz. We sell no jerseys. We're owing whatever the hell we are. Why wouldn't they claim him? And Dan Campbell comes out and says it's not in the plan. I don't know. Why? Because he doesn't fit in the mold? What does? You're a winless team. I wish Detroit would have. But right now, I don't know. Everybody, I see the same team you guys do. I see people whisper about Kansas City, Seattle, you mentioned Brownie. Yeah. Everyone was oohing and ahhing that New England is going to get him. I don't know who will. If I'm Kansas City and it's broken. It's not working. We've tried everything. We've restarted it. We've blown on the Nintendo game. We've put it in a jar of rice. We're trying everything we can to fix the offense. Why not just throw a stick of dynamite in there and see if it works and bring in Odell? Why the hell not?
Right. So let's wrap it up by bringing it back to the Bills and the Jets.
All right.
Two teams that even last year in Buffalo's juggernaut offense season played a 10-point game and played an 8-point game that included 6 field goals from the Bills to win 18-10 in the second meeting.
Wow.
They've been plucky at home, as you pointed out. I think this is a tight game.
I know. I think they're the strangest team in the league because some weeks they're like, they look semi-pro, they look like they're a Division III college team. They can't compete. And other weeks, like, oh my God, we just won. We just beat teams that matter. We beat Derrick Henry Titans. I actually do think it's going to be close too. I think that Saleh has them ready to beat the Bills, and the Bills are bleeding. But geez, if there was ever going to be a week, and we'll see what this team is made of, the Buffalo team, and what McDermott's made of, this should be a slaughter. They're way more talented, way more experienced, and now everybody's jumping ship on them. This has to be the get right week. And I'm going to go. I know you're encyclopedic, Brownie, about every result in every game and every history, and you just pointed out what they went up against last year. I'm going to go the opposite way on this. I'm going 37-3 Buffalo.
Wow.
Yeah, a get right week.
Well, we should mention the Jets don't even know who the hell's playing quarterback yet this week. It could be one of 3 guys. We don't know.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to say 3-0 Buffalo.
3-0.
Yes.
All right, Brownie. I love that, Steve.
I'm going to go
3-0.
Oh my God.
They'll walk out with a win, and they'll hit their chest and say, "Yeah, that's
Tyler Bass, the MVP."
Steve, what do you? How about 3-2? Would you?
I almost said 2.
Origami.
I almost said 2-0, but I didn't. I thought that'd be tough.
Get a scoregami. That would be awesome.
Right.
All right, Kyle. As always, thanks very much. We'll tune in next week.
I like when we talk and it's happy and jubilant, and I'm just a little drunk on the Bills. And after they win 37-3, we will. Thank you,
All right,
guys.
man. That sounds good to me.